Hey, everybody, subscribe to Live Old Games. Hold on. Today, we're going to do my NES collection. Because, I'm going to be honest with you, my NES, Super NES, Sega Genesis, Nintendo 64, PlayStation, all those era of gaming, my collection's not going to grow until my children do. Because they're fucking expensive. And it only gets more expensive. So, also, I will do a video about this. I play all my retro games on that now. And even if I don't want to play it with arcade machine, I pack it up, put it in the box, and attach it to the TV. I have an arcade console that also happens to play retro games that I made and totally sell, by the way. Anyways, so I don't mind bootlegging games right now because, to be honest with you, you guys know my collection, right? Things like Silent Hill, I'm gonna have the copies of because they're games that stayed with me. So pretty much a lot, obviously there's games in this NES collection that we all played, and I just have them because they were cheap to acquire. But the ones that weren't cheap to acquire, I either have stories for, or they're ones I really wanted to track down. So there are a couple NES games that I do still need hard copies of because I don't know where my Adventure of Link is. I don't even see my Zelda, which has appeared in several other videos. I'm going to pause this real quick. Okay, well, I mean, that was a second for you, but my son's got a Zelda shrine in his room, and I obviously let him take these, but I totally forgot about it before the video. So I'm going to put this last. It's not my most expensive NES game, but it's probably, there's 3 on here I'd say are my most treasured and carry really awesome childhood memories for me, which I have other videos about that, by the way. If you would ever like to go back and check out my Why I Love Video Games, I'm still open to do that documentary. Just need to figure out when. It's not even the how or the who's going to pay for it. It's just the when at this point. I have no fucking time. All right, so let's get into these games. NES collection, not going to grow because I play a lot of bootlegs. Not going to grow until I'm an older man. I was going to say old man. I'm pretty old. So I'm an older man. And I'm back to having a disposable income. As long as the world's around. I've done a couple videos about this. I did a video and then I played it once during a live stream back in 2018. I know exactly when it was. So there was a game before I was adopted. Actually, right when I got dropped off at Stranger's house when I was adopted, I got to still go see my mom for 2 days a week. It was like a supervised visitation. But I remember playing this game at her house on Nintendo, and I only got to play it a couple times before I didn't get to go back there. And what an idiot. What a dumb game to start with. Anyways, I finally fucking tracked it down. I actually tracked it down, I don't remember what year, but I have it on this channel. I never knew what the game was, and I figured it out while I was on this channel. There's fuzzies all over. There's dust on these. That's how long it's been. But I tracked it down. It ended up being Dragon Power, which is actually a Dragon Ball game. What? That wasn't even 4 minutes in. Childhood trauma. Speaking of childhood trauma that we all suffered. The game was hard as fuck, and I don't ever believe anybody if they tell me that they beat it. That's one of the games that when somebody says they beat it, I just continue on the conversation because I don't believe you, and I don't want to address it because we all know you didn't. I didn't beat that. All right, so listen, I beat it. I beat it with cheats. I beat that shit with the game Genie. I did not beat that game legitimate. There are parts of the game that people think are ridiculously difficult, and they're not. And I put them up on here, too. Like swimming through the reefs and shit. The Reeves, Keanu Reeves. So what I said is they're filler games that I played. I would never sit down and play Arkanoid now. But I did play it when I was a kid. But, look. I have adhesophobia. It makes me want to throw up. So if you see stickers on here, that's why I can't I can't take them off. I am extremely congested. I wish these were in a little different order. I would present these different. But Rampage is a big game in my house. That's not funny if I look like I'm moving my head funny. Rampage is huge in my house. Rampage was huge when I was a kid. Rampage was huge. Me and my friend Brian were big on World and Universal Tour. And then when the movies came out, my sons were just old enough that they saw giant monsters tearing up a city and scaring people, and they were like, "Ooh, this is my thing." So Rampage has become a huge thing in my house. I have seen that fucking Rock movie so goddamn much. I'm pretty sure I could just watch it again. It wouldn't even bother me. I can watch it in my head right now. It just was. George was asleep on a plane, and they were debating what they had to do next. There's so much dust on these games. That's why I wanted to start with the NES ones, because I got to clean out those boxes. Clearly, I feel like I have dust all over me. Ice Climber, I don't remember, like, I played it all the time when I was a kid, but I remember playing it. And it was like pre-adoption life. Same with this one. I played a lot of this on Commodore 64, but I'd say I played more of it on Commodore 64, but I used to play that on NES too. NES is a weird range for me because it was a big, like, I lived in different homes with different people. Like, my mom was gone, and then I had a new family, and that was before I got a Sega Genesis. So a lot of these NES games are either new family or old family. So Renegade is a side-scrolling beat-em-up. This is a Blockbuster one. I believe I took this one apart in a video, and it looked like somebody threw up in it, and that's one thing I was telling people: don't blow in your cartridges, because you're probably blowing dusty vomit back at yourself. Sprinkle some of that in there. Oh shit! Anyone who knows I'm gonna leave that game. That's one of the special ones. I'm just gonna zip through some of these that I don't feel like need a backstory. Pinball for NES. It's not a sticker game. That's a legit, I went out of my way to buy that one. Double Dragon 2, which was not as good as Double Dragon 1. Double Dragon 1 I have the most fond memories of. I used to play that with my cousin Jay all the time. Adventures of Lolo. I know the cheap sticker, but Lolo is actually a great game, great series. I know I've had this confusion in several videos before, and I'm just going to go ahead and just say I don't own it, I guess. Or if I do, I'll find it later. But Castlevania 1, Castlevania 2, and I know I own Dracula's Curse. I've been through this videos before. I did a Castlevania collection video back in my old house in my bar. I just got deja vu. Let's go down here. I played this recently, actually. I don't remember which. I have a HD NES. I'll make that the thumbnail for this. I don't even remember which company it was. I think it was Hyperkin. But I play games on that on occasion because it makes the games look great on my TV. And their controller is snappy, which is a big one. But I played Marble Madness like within the last week. Guardian Legend, which is a side-scrolling shooter. Ball and Nick suggested that back when I used to actually do retro videos, like where I would do gameplay and sit in front of the TV. I miss those. I'm looking at these games and I'm thinking that I should go back and do some of those. Here's 2 filler games, but they're actually good games. Burger Time and Paperboy. It makes me feel old now, but I can say, like, I liked these games on Nintendo, but I was fortunate enough, and I'm old enough I played these, like, whenever my mom was taking me to some. Back in the day, you used to just be able to bring your kids into a bar as long as they served food of some kind. And most of these bars had arcade machines. So almost all the places that my mom took me were shady. but they all had sweet ass arcade machines. And anywhere we went, I feel like my mom was a boss because I remember like getting priority on arcade machines. I played Ninja Spirit that way. Captain Skyhawk, I know nothing about. It was $1.99. I'm assuming I just grabbed that to fill this out when I wanted to make this collection something when I cared. Dr. Mario. I feel like if you have an NES, you have to have Dr. Mario. If you like puzzle games. I'm sorry, I'm really congested and I don't feel great. And I slept funny and my neck hurts, so if my voice sounds funny, I'm not getting trapped in my past, I promise you. I'm just tired. You can tell by my eyes how tired I am. Alright, so we have Metal Gear Solid, which I liked way better as a kid than as an adult. The NES version, at least. And then we have the unofficial sequel, Snake's Revenge. For those who don't know, this is not Metal Gear Solid. I mean, this is not Metal... It's not. That is factually accurate. This is not Metal Gear Solid 2. Fuck you. Let me try again. This is not Metal Gear 2. This is Metal Gear. This is the official. Well, MSX is official, but this is a port of the MSX one. This is not a port of the MSX Metal Gear 2. My brain doesn't even want to acknowledge it. And it went right for the Sons of Liberty. Tetris 2? I don't think I have to even talk about that. That's not a cheap label game either. I went out of my way to buy that one. I'll find it eventually. Oh well. Super Mario Brothers 1 with Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers 3. I have 2 somewhere. That's mandatory. Here's what Mario was based off of, and Donkey Kong and Mario was based off of. It was Popeye. Because Donkey Kong was supposed to be a Popeye game. And then ended up being a gorilla instead of Bluto. And Pauline instead of Olive Oil, and Jumpman instead of Popeye. Look that shit up, that's true. 100%. I need to look something up, but I'm pretty sure Jan Michael Vincent was an Airwolf. I think. Calling all Jan Michael Vincents. Tetris 1. Yo, I played that so much when I was a kid, but I played it on an arcade machine, and I don't remember where. It was on like a multi-cab, so I don't know if it was a Play 10 or what, but I played that a lot when I was a kid. This is a special game. This one's not. Top Gun is not. I didn't learn how to play this game until I was an adult. I just didn't get it when I was younger. And then as an adult, I really do enjoy flying games, but it's too late for those type of flying games. I'm on Ace Combat 7 at this point. Commando was a game that I got, so since it's not cheap label, I ordered this online when I was on a quest looking for another game from my childhood, and I found it. It's down there. I'm not going to do it yet. I see Super Mario Brothers too. Section Z is a side-scrolling shmup from Capcom. That game is actually quite fun. Top Gun Second Mission. I had a real obsession with airplanes when I was a kid. I wanted to be a pilot, but my vision's garbage. But I wanted to be a pilot, and I didn't get to be. So that's why I have the job I have right now. It eventually got me there. But I wanted to be a pilot so bad when I was a kid. I flew a biplane when I was 12 years old in Northampton Airfield. That was fucking awesome, by the way. Back to the Future. I don't like this one. But I like Back to the Future 2. Wait. Reverse that. I like this one. I don't like Back to the Future 2 and 3. There we go. That game is not good by any metric. This game, let me try again. This game is not good. This game is terrible. By all means, Back to the Future on NES is fucking awful. But I have good memories playing it with my cousin Jay. So, like, he didn't have a lot of games. And that was one that he wanted to beat so desperately. And we actually played it a lot trying to beat it. And I've never beaten it. So I don't fucking know if he did. But Yoshi. It's a puzzle game. I think I've done a video about this stack. I think this is how this stack came together. I did a video and some of these games didn't work in my Hyperkin. And I have a story about that over here. RoboCop. It was okay. Werewolf. I mean, if you want to see what Werewolf is about, Angry Video Game Nerd just did a video. I didn't watch it, but I'm aware of them. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. That was before the Nintendo wanted to distance himself from Mike Tyson. If I ever meet Mike Tyson, I hope I know ahead of time. Yo, these games are dusty. I hope I know ahead of time because I would love to get him to sign that. That would be amazing. Dig Dug 2. I'm a big fan of Dig Dug. I know I've talked about that on this channel a lot. Clue Clue Land. It's just a game that we had when we were a kid. I fucking love this game. Put that off to the side. Cobra Command. That was another one. Like I said, just ones that we had when we were kids. Ones that I had when I was kids. I realized that you guys are, like, average watch this are younger than me. Mach Rider. Yo Noid, which is one of the best. Well, I can say this. It is the best pizza promotion tie-in game ever. But mascot games were big back in the 90s, 80s and 90s, and a lot of them sucked. Most of them sucked. Yo Noid was one that did not actually suck. It's just a weird fucking mascot. Creepy. Let's Kick Shell. See this dust? It's cat hair. Man, I gotta dust all these. I just did a reference of the wrong game. Turtles in Time. That was a special game. This one's not. Bases loaded. So baseball with me is the same with racing games. I fucking hate baseball. I hate the sport of baseball. I think it's extremely boring, but I don't think it's boring when you're playing it. So when I was a kid, I used to play baseball a lot. Not for like my school or anything, just like Sandlot style. Me and my cousin Jay, my cousin Jay and I, we would go down to either the sand pit or my grandpa's field, and we would get other neighborhood kids and usually play baseball, which just meant somebody hitting the ball and then everyone else trying to throw it at each other. That's pretty much what baseball was when I was a kid. Where was I going with that? But my cousin Jay actually loved baseball. So I played a lot of sports games when I was a kid. I liked like Bill Walsh's college football was a big one for me. Because I played football, so I had more interest in the games back then. So we had to either rock, paper, scissors, flip a coin, or he'd punch me in the chest because he's bigger than me. And then he's younger than me, but he's bigger than me. He's the dude that you don't want to. Trust me. I've seen him bounce someone's head off of a brick wall with a punch to their jaw. No, thank you. So anyways, if he wanted to play baseball, we played baseball. And it was usually RBI baseball. So I don't like baseball. I feel like the dust is on me. I don't like baseball, but I'll play them. And older ones I'm good at. This was one we played a lot too. And we only played Blades of Steel so we could punch each other. No one gave a shit about that. There was another one that was Hit the Ice too. That was like that. Hit the Ice. Shadowgate, I've done videos for. I streamed Shadowgate. once upon a time. Operation Wolf was a on-rails shooter. Tiger Heli. Fly around shooter. Side-scrolling shmup. Shoot 'em up. Shmup. Yes. Dan told me to get that one because I went through a huge phase of shmups. Shoot 'em ups. Arcade shooters. I'm going to do a whole video about those because I buy those a lot. I play at least one arcade shooter a week and actually complete it. But I never do videos on them because they're usually only 5 to 7 levels and they're short games. And I feel like if I just talk about them, it should be in a short format, which we do have now. But I don't really like shorts. I think they feed into eating people's brains. So I think I'll do a big video about it because some of the games that I buy for that are fucking expensive. Because they're niche. Nobody plays them. Anyway, Super Spike V-Ball. You can play that 4-player, that's right. I'm still a bigger fan of Dodgeball, which I don't actually have a hard copy of. We're winding down here. I'm going to round all these out as close to a half hour as I can. Super Mario Brothers 2. Need not really say much about that. This game stack's going to fall. Bases Loaded 1, I know I showed you 2. Abadox was a hybrid game. Mainly a side-scrolling shooter. It's hard as fuck. Dan convinced me to get that. That game had a sleeve. I would like to know what happened with it. Mega Man 1 with the bad box art. I lost a bet to Dan over this game. For some reason, I thought Mega Man 2 had the shitty guy. And the cherub-looking one was in Mega Man 3. And I was wrong. I lost the bet. I don't remember what I think I had to give him a copy of the red box. I had to give him I said red box. I just had a fucking stroke. I can't look down. It hurts. The orange box. I had to give him a copy of the orange box for 360. This was the game. Yes, Urban Champion. It's the one that belonged to Charlie. I opened up the back to clean out games, and it looked like somebody threw up in it. There we go. Circling back to the throw up. I have another copy of Renegade. I have 2 copies of Renegade. DuckTales. Woo. I don't have to say much about DuckTales. I've done a couple videos on DuckTales and the remake. And then Pac-Man. We've had a discussion about Pac-Man on here already. Oh shit! I do have a couple more games. One I've done a long video on. And that's this one. And this is the one I bought, and somebody fucking colored it in black. And I've been working a long time to get it, and I think I'm just gonna get a replacement cart because I have industrial cleaners at work that would clean this immediately, but it might actually etch into the plastic or the sticker's immediately gone. In which that case, I might as well just get a reproduction cart. I'm never going to sell it. I actually do enjoy this game. That was one of the first open world RPGs that I've ever played. That's essentially what that game is. Super Sprint. As much as I say I don't like racing, Super Sprint was one of my favorite arcade games that had the wheel on it. And the wheel was super responsive. I remember it. The controls on NES feel good too, but oh god, RBI Baseball. That's the one I used to play a lot. And RBI Baseball 3. These are the 10 gen games. That was so Atari could circumvent Nintendo and fuck them over. 10 gen is if I'm a huge fan of Gaming Historian. These are the type of videos I like to watch that I don't do on this channel because it's work and they actually get paid for that shit. But he has a video about the history of Atari and Nintendo and their lawsuits. So go check that shit out. I think you'll like it. But he talks about it in there. So here's what I'm gonna do. I got my special games here that I enjoy, and then I got I have a very small Super Nintendo collection. Nope. We're not doing that in this video. Are we? Yeah, we're not doing that. I'm doing a couple videos back to back, so excuse me if I start merging things together. We're going to finish out my Nintendo ones, and then I'm going to go into other various consoles. Guerrilla War. Guerrilla War I bought twice on this channel at a high price on eBay. The first time I bought it, it worked. And then I went to do a video of it for it, and it didn't work. And then Dan brought hardware over, and we did, this video is on this channel. We did a Pod 9 when there was a massive snowstorm here, out of season, and it knocked power out for 3 weeks, almost through my entire state. I want to say this was 2011, maybe 2011, 2010, regardless. I live near the Connecticut River, or I live on the Connecticut River, so my power lines weren't affected because everything is on a different grid because of the river. So Dan and I did a podcast that day, and he brought some hardware of his, and we tried to play Guerrilla War to relive my childhood, and it didn't work. And I took a sledgehammer and I smashed the shit out of it, and I ordered a new one. And then somebody commented on that video that this game is extremely difficult through emulated hardware, and then you have to play it on original hardware, which I did, and it was fine. So I smashed a $60 copy of this game, and then went and ordered another $50 one. So it's safe now. And all the newer clone consoles have zero problem emulating this, and other games that I did that too, like Werewolf was one of them. This is the game that showed me my love for puzzle games. This was one of my favorite games. It's an arcade game. I know it's an arcade game. I saw one of my friends recently within the last year post an arcade machine out in the wild. And I had to ask where it was, but it was too far away. I was willing to go buy this machine. So I played it on Nintendo mostly, but I played it in an arcade. I saw it when I was a kid, and then I never saw it again. But I saw every friend that I knew had a copy of this game. And it's just you go around with a little wizard, and you solve puzzles, and it's usually about adding or removing blocks. Collect as much shit as you can, and then get to the exit, and do it in a timely fashion. So that was like my first puzzle and completionist thing. It was like, I want to get everything before I get to the exit. So it kind of put me on a path like discipline in gaming, I guess. My neck hurts so bad. All right. So I never owned this game when I was a kid. I only saw it at other people's houses or got to play it at like my cousin's houses and stuff, but I never owned it. And the fact that the cart was gold, what the fuck? I wanted it. But we never had our own copy of it. So as an adult, I got it. And then I didn't get Link's Awakening because I don't like it. But there are games I said that I do want to round this out, and Link's Awakening is one of them because it's the only Zelda I don't own. It's the only Zelda I don't own a hard copy of. So I gotta get it. And then this bad boy, my cousin Jay, again, we all moved on to the next consoles, and Jay hung back for a year or two. But he had this fucking game, and he didn't like it. And he used to start it all the time and then quit it. And I don't think he understood what an RPG was. So it wasn't clicking with him why he couldn't play pinball. But you just use the flippers and you are a pinball, and you have to knock yourself around, and you have to complete missions and go on a full fucking RPG quest. It was amazing. I tell people about this game all the time. Listen, I'm not going to tell you not to emulate things. If they're past a certain age and you have no other means, you're not going to get this off the eShop. You know what I mean? You're not going to get this on Xbox Live. You're not going to get this on the PSN. Go find this game and play it. You will like it. But thank you guys for watching. That was my NES collection. Like I said, that's not really going to gain any growth until I'm, retired and bored. But thank you guys for watching. I will do Sega Genesis next.